At any hour,
Go around, not in the crosswalk.
traffic, a plethora of passengers at San Francisco International Airport, and taxi, Uber, and Lyft cars at every turn.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Chris Basso flew in for us. He works for Carfax, a company that gathers the latest information on every car rolling on our roads. Carfax data shows right now in California, 7.7 million vehicles have some defective part or safety issue. 1.5 million are on Bay Area streets.
One of the big reasons for recalls not getting fixed is people's cavalier attitude towards these recalls and thinking that it's no big deal or it's not going to happen to them.
It's a pain to go do it, so I never do it.
Do you worry when people don't get these things fixed and then you're getting in the back seat?
No.
Two investigates wanted to see how many rideshare cars have defective parts going unfixed. Using the Carfax app, Chris shows us how we can enter a license plate number to get car maintenance information immediately.
You want to call it out for me?
7Z.
It didn't take long, and we found
One open recall on that one.
One open recall. Okay, what do we got?
this Toyota Sienna has a faulty shift lever, meaning you think the van's in park, and it rolls away.
This is, at the very least, an increased risk of a crash, and at the most, you're talking potential death.
One of the most dangerous defects is certain Takata airbags. In a crash, there's a chance of sending pieces of metal flying in the faces of drivers or passengers.
Did you know you have a recall on your car?
We found this Uber driver has a bad passenger side airbag, the recall dating back 2 years.
So if somebody's in there and you're in an accident, that airbag could explode on them. Call a Honda dealer.
Okay, thank you.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration calls it the biggest recall in American history.
You have a recall. We wanted to let you know about it.
And we found several rideshare cars with that same problem.
So you'll get it fixed?
Okay, yeah.
In total, we randomly tested 70 Uber and Lyft vehicles. We found roughly 1 in 6 had some serious safety recall, from exploding airbags to potential fuel leaks leading to fires, or computer issues disabling safety features entirely.
As a rider, does that concern you?
I live in Florida. Nobody cares about car safety there.
And when this passenger's ride rolled up, we ran the plate and broke the news.
Did you know that your car actually has a recall?
Okay, I didn't know that.
It was another faulty Takata airbag.
How soon you think you'll get it fixed?
As soon as possible.
Lyft would only say it requires a rigorous safety inspection, and all cars must meet industry and state safety standards. Uber also refused an on-camera interview, but said we regularly remind drivers to check for open recalls and to take the necessary steps to get them fixed. This is Uber's 19-point inspection sheet every car must pass, but it never asks nor says anything about safety recalls.
The safety of our roadways is at risk the longer these vehicles with unfixed recalls are left unfixed.
For comparison, we asked the airport to turn over license plates and VIN numbers for every registered taxi. Then we ran the cab's information to look for recalls. What we found was even more alarming. Out of more than 2,000 taxis, nearly half had a potentially deadly defect. The top recalls, 413 issues with airbags, 298 problems with power steering, 117 defects with door latches, and 110 safety concerns with seat belts.
We have 11 lifts here in the shop, over 30 mechanics that are working, 7 days a week.
Chris Swace is the owner of Yellow Cab, one of the biggest cab companies in San Francisco. We asked him about what we uncovered.
It was a little bit surprising, but not completely unexpected.
He explained his fleet of taxis has had a fair share of recalls, but his team has taken it upon themselves, not relying on the manufacturer, to ratchet up repairs.
We have a responsibility not just to the passengers, but to our drivers as well. We own the vehicles, we're responsible for the vehicles, we're liable if anything happens to anybody that's in our cars.
City inspectors show up to shine the light on 160 different inspection points, all before giving the annual seal of approval. But out here on the road, the real responsibility for repairs falls on everyone.
This is 911. We received a call and we have officers on scene. Are you there?
When there's an emergency, these are the people who answer the call.
San Francisco Police, dispatch 162.
Two investigates found here in San Francisco, 40% of the time, dispatchers are dealing with those who never should have called 911.
San Francisco 911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
It's not an emergency. I need some little quick information.
Okay, let me get you to the police line. Stay on the line.
No, hold on. Hello?
Let me give you the phone number. That way you can talk with them.
Dawn Mahoney has been that voice on the other end for decades. She's seen an alarming increase in calls that are clearly not emergencies.
My car got towed and I'm trying to figure out where is my car.
San Francisco gets 3,500 calls a day, and we found roughly 1,400, almost half, are unnecessary dials. That adds up to more than 250,000 calls a year.
You just never know what you're going to get.
San Francisco 911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
I think we just had an earthquake.
Is anybody injured?
No.
Okay, I'm going to let you go.
It's those calls that could cause a delay for someone who really needs help.
Dialing 911 to them is easier than looking up a non-emergency number.
Their non-emergency number is 510-777-3333.
Okay, can you transfer me or should I just call?
Off of 911, it would be best if you just go ahead and call.
Okay,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
With dispatchers tied up, we saw one 911 call sitting on hold for nearly a minute. But San Francisco isn't alone. It's a problem across the Bay Area and the country.
You have to go from, hearing a child die in your ear right here to taking the phone call of the woman who thinks that the rap music next door is the worst thing that ever happened to her.
Rachel Herron is a retared East Bay dispatcher. She says with more cell phones comes more calls, hang-ups, and headaches.
Hello?
Goodness.
Alameda County has seen a spike in calls too. 20% of the time are for unnecessary reasons. Even pocket dials are constantly taking up more of dispatchers' time.
Hello?
Hi, your phone dialed 911. Do you have an emergency?
I'm sorry, we were trying to figure out how to add an emergency contact, and I inadvertently lied the thing.
Okay.
It's illegal to have a charcoal grill in the park here.
Then there are the well-known calls, like what played out between Jennifer Schulte, nicknamed Barbecue Becky, and two African-American men grilling. Calls tied up an Oakland emergency line for nearly 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'd like to report that someone is illegally using a charcoal grill in a non-designated area in Lake Merritt Park.
She argued with a second dispatcher, pleading to send police.
Why is the person yelling? I don't know.
Panic over a barbecue. I don't understand.
First responders may have to show up even if it doesn't seem like a serious situation. Still, dispatchers can prioritize where to send resources. They say these calls, like the one at Lake Merritt, are nothing new.
Oh, that kind of call, again, every hour, every day.
Just like the woman now called Permit Patty in San Francisco, who called on an 8-year-old African-American girl.
Hi, I'm having someone that does not have a vendor permit that's selling water across from the ballpark.
While there is a California law banning 911 abuse, prosecutions are rare. We checked with other Bay Area cities like Oakland and San Jose. Both don't track wasteful calls to 911. Bottom line, dispatchers want you to call, but only if it's a real emergency.
County emergency. Hello. Hi, how can I help you?
I have no internet.
You what?
I have no internet.
Okay. You not having internet is not a matter for 911. Is there somebody else that you can call?
I don't know.
We have literally thousands of orders in one stage or another.
In a large warehouse in tiny Norwood, Missouri, is rough country rustic furniture and decor.
The furniture just looked amazing.
Lucy Solano lives near Santa Rosa. She was just one of more than 2 million Facebook fans. Intrigued, she spent more than $1,100 on a bedroom set, a Christmas present for her fiancé. But another Christmas has come and gone with no signs of her furniture.
I want them to be shut down so that they can't take anyone else's money, because what they're doing is just not right.
Emails blamed the customer service manager, calling her lazy and a poor employee. Lucy wanted a refund. Emails explained a check was in the mail arriving any day. Lucy says she's received nothing.
I want this company stopped. They have to be stopped.
When she tried to post a negative Facebook review, her comments were deleted, a common complaint. Veteran Eric Wacker, who now lives in Wyoming, was banned from the page.
I'm not happy that they advertise veteran-owned and they want to screw veterans like this.
He's still waiting on a $178 concealment wall art flag, and since rallied other potential victims in a separate Facebook group calling the company a scam.
There needs to be some level of trust. And with this particular company, it seems like that trust is lacking.
The Better Business Bureau has received hundreds of complaints nationwide, mainly for a pattern of slow delivery. It's earned Rough Country Rustic Furniture an F rating.
They're just not communicating. They might not have enough people staffing their phones. They might not have people actually doing the work inside to build some of these furniture pieces.
The owner, Joseph Ross, never responded to our repeated emails and phone calls. He did defend his company by posting this video just days before Christmas.
If the buck does stop with me, I am the owner, and I am ultimately responsible for some delays we've had in production and problems that we've incurred with previous contractors and previous employees, but it is my fault and we take responsibility.
Customers like Tricia and Joe from Rohnert Park experienced months of delays and promises of discounts they never received. 10 months after ordering, most bedroom furniture pieces were delivered.
That one over there is super loose and it wobbles around.
Yeah. Left with no instructions.
And it was kind of like a puzzle.
No pre-drilled holes.
That this is where it broke in half.
And questionable quality.
It's a letdown. It is a giant letdown.
The freight company isn't happy either. R&L Carriers is suing Rough Country Rustic Furniture for not paying a long list of deliveries. In total, demanding more than $690,000.
So that's the headboard, and it has come off completely.
This veteran was another posting on Facebook, upset with what she waited a year and a half for.
Crappy drawers, half put together.
Or others who had to do the work themselves.
Damaged in shipping, broken pieces. Overall, the quality is just poor.
Still, the company is offering discounts and taking on new orders. Then there's this, an $89,000 judgment against the owner for not paying his business loan.
I don't consider this a business. This is at best a scheme to continue to try to, steal people's money, it feels like.
A claim the owner flat out denies.
And we will not let you down.